Sakuni, a master manipulator and expert at reading human psychology, saw Yudhishthira's weakness and exploited it to the fullest. Sakuni was not just good at dice. He was a professional who had perfected the art of the game, leaving no room for fairness or sportsmanship. Yudhishthira knew Sakuni's unmatched skill in manipulating the dice, but like any gambler, he clung to hope. Even with all his wisdom, Yudhishthira couldn't resist the lure of the game and entertained dreams of victory, despite knowing how dangerous it was. The dice were now in Sakuni's hands, and Yudhishthira, known as Dharmaputra, made his first bet, his precious jewelry. The dice were cast, and Yudhishthira lost. Determined to keep playing, he then wagered the royal treasury, the heavenly horses gifted by Chitraratha, the royal elephants received from other princes, and the 5 hidden treasures reserved for emergencies. But one by one, Sakuni's cunning manipulations caused Yudhishthira to lose them all. Vidura, seeing the dangerous direction the game was heading, went to Dhritarashtra in private and said, "Yudhishthira is being tricked by Duryodhana, with Sakuni's help. Duryodhana is a threat to this dynasty and will bring about its downfall. You must disown him and put an end to this deceitful game immediately. Your son is playing with disaster, and delay will only make things worse." But Dhritarashtra, blind not just in sight but in judgment, ignored Vidura's warning, unwilling to take the drastic steps suggested. Vidura then approached Duryodhana directly, urging him to stop the game. But Duryodhana snapped back angrily. "You are a traitor, ungrateful for everything you've received. You have no right to give us unwanted advice." Humiliated but resolute, Vidura replied, "I am only fulfilling my duty to Dhritarashtra and his family." Many people love to hear pleasing words, but few are willing to listen to the harsh truth. With that, Vidura remained silent, knowing his words had fallen on deaf ears. Meanwhile, the dice game continued. Sakuni, in full control, kept winning while Yudhishthira, despite knowing better, held on to a sliver of hope like any gambler. In no time, Yudhishthira lost all the vast wealth he had accumulated during the Rajasuya sacrifice, including the legendary Mayasabha. Sakuni mockingly said, "You've lost your wealth, but you still have your brothers. Will you keep playing?" Undeterred, Yudhishthira bet his brother Nakula, the handsome warrior who had conquered the West. Sakuni cast the dice and declared, "I've won." Yudhishthira, still not giving up, wagered his brother Sahadeva, the conqueror of the South, but lost once again. Sakuni then taunted Yudhishthira, "I know you won't risk Bhima and Arjuna. After all, you have to answer to your mother, Kunti." Angered by the insinuation, Yudhishthira bet Arjuna, the great archer and disciple of the legendary teacher Drona. Once more, he lost. Without hesitation, Yudhishthira then wagered Bhima, the mightiest of all warriors. History repeated itself, and Sakuni won again. Sakuni, sensing Yudhishthira's despair, said, "You wouldn't dare risk yourself, would you?" Yudhishthira, with grim determination, replied, "You're wrong. I offer myself as the final bet." Sakuni, feigning admiration, responded, "If you win this round, I'll return everything you've lost so far." The crowd held its breath as Sakuni threw the dice with practiced ease and proclaimed once again, "I have won." Yudhishthira hung his head in shame, utterly defeated. The hall erupted in confusion and dismay. But Sakuni wasn't done. He added, "Yudhishthira, all is not lost. Why not wager Draupadi? Isn't she part of your possessions?" With great reluctance, Yudhishthira said, "Draupadi, born from the sacred fire and queen of the Rajasuya sacrifice, is my bet." Sakuni rolled the dice, and with a triumphant shout, announced that Draupadi had been won. Bhisma, Drona, and Kripa were devastated, while the Kaurava camp celebrated. Karna and Dusasana jumped for joy at their victory.